Hi everybody, so what I wanted to do today is actually go through something that I've personally only just found out about relatively recently, and I've been so shocked and surprised that I haven't heard about this before, so I wanted to kind of also bring the information to you guys as well, because I'm sure you'll be really excited about it and probably just get just as addicted as I have over the past kind of couple of weeks. And by the title you might already know what this is, you might have already heard about it before, and that's penny shopping at the Dollar General. Now that might seem a little bit too good to be true, which is what I initially thought as well.
Okay guys,
but
so
it
before
is
we get
real.
started, I just kind of wanted to pan around here and show you everything that we got in our Dollar General trips this week. These were finds that we just picked up this particular week, so these aren't over a number of weeks, this is literally just in the past couple of days really. Do ignore the noises in the background, my cats are just basically finding anything and everything to play with to distract from the video. So basically everything on this left hand side here, when I quickly pan around, everything that you see here in shot was just 1 penny for each individual item. So everything you see here, you'll probably see on a few things the original price, but we only paid 1 penny for everything. So you can see we picked up a lot of games, children's games, we got some motor oil here, we got a lot of synthetic flowers, we got some Hot Wheels Star Wars games, those little collectible cars, we got a number of jigsaws, a lot of Star Wars stuff featured particularly in this week's penny list. Well, not particularly this week's penny list, but a few weeks ago the particular toys that came onto the penny list included a lot of Star Wars items, and these particular items obviously just didn't get found a couple of weeks ago, so we managed to pick them up even in the past couple of days. There's a lot of coffee here that we managed to pick up, a bit more Star Wars here, these Space Invaders games which are $20 each, or were originally $20 each should I say, and then everything here was actually in this week's Dollar General clearance items. So these particular things, they weren't a penny item, but they were very cheap for what they were, otherwise we obviously wouldn't have picked them up. So these particular items, we've got the Worcestershire sauce, we've got Sweet Baby Ray's, a couple of tubes of toothpaste there, we've got these Fruit Loops, which also have a get a free box coupon on the back, so we can actually double the amount of cereal that we picked up here. And we have some medium pasta shells and also Pringles here as well. So basically if I just stand right back, you'll be able to see everything that we picked up this week, and as I said before, the vast majority of these items were a penny, and I'll also explain the prices for those clearance items as well, as there was a particular promotion going on this week where a lot of the clearance items were actually an additional 50% off. So there you go, quick pan, and I will be going through a lot of these items individually and obviously explaining the process of how you can also pick up a lot of penny items yourself at the Dollar General.
So one of the first things you need to realise is that penny shopping is actually a secret, and by that what I mean is you can't just go into the Dollar General and ask a store employee, do you have any penny sales, do you know where the penny items are, because the penny sales, and the reason why they are pennies to begin with, is because those particular products that become pennies are actually supposed to be removed from the shelves by employees. Obviously in a lot of retail spaces what happens is as products become older, they get discontinued, they get removed from the shop floor to make room for newer products that they can obviously continue to sell as the months and years go by. So after a certain amount of time, in a lot of retail stores, you'll find things go on clearance. They might eventually go progressively lower and lower in price on clearance, and then they might completely disappear from the shelves. In the terms of Michaels, in my previous video you can see that those items eventually end up in grab bags, and that's how their particular company doesn't lose so much money, because if they're selling those grab bags at $4 and those items might have eventually gone down to a penny or had to have been removed from the shop floor, they're still making a little bit of money. So a lot of stores actually use this particular concept, I guess, when they're discontinuing a product line. So each individual week their employees will get a new penny list of items to remove from the shelves, and when they remove those products, they're all supposed to be removed, right? That's the job, to remove all the products. But a lot of the times, and you can kind of understand why, Dollar General is quite a messy store in a lot of the departments, and so I can even understand from the employee's point of view, it's probably quite difficult to locate a lot of the items that they actually need to remove from the shelves. And I don't know all the ins and outs of why a lot of these products aren't removed, because there is a considerable amount of people, like I said, in these penny communities online that find so much stuff it's almost unbelievable that this stuff was even attempted to be removed from the shelves. But essentially that's what I want you to understand, is that these items specifically were discontinued items that should have been removed from the shop floor by the employees, and therefore in a way when we're buying these items you could say that it's because the employees haven't done their job properly. And so that's why we don't want to go into the store and ask if there's penny sales or ask where the penny sale items are, etc. And along those lines, you also don't want to ask for a price check. And the reason why you don't want to ask for a price check is because this is quite a well-known thing now. Even though it's a secret, like I said, you don't want to kind of make it be known that that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, because you're not going to be allowed to do it, basically. If they know that you are trying to find penny items by way of price checking or making it be known in the store to the employees, they're just going to price check that themselves, realise it's a penny, and remove it. So you basically have different experiences depending on the stores that you go into. The first store that we went into, when we first tried to do this, we found an item that we thought was going to be a penny, and I am going to explain in a minute how you can work out what those items are. And we were obviously a little bit nervous, we haven't done it before, so we did actually ask the employee at the time, oh, can you do a price check for this? And he wouldn't ring it up at the register. He actually used the scanning device on his phone, like the shop's phone, and he just said, oh, it's not ringing up, it's coming up as unavailable in the store, that means I'm not going to be able to ring it up at the register, which we now know to, and probably at the time thought was untrue. Obviously this means that the particular item is a penny, and they obviously don't want to ring something up if they know that it's a penny in advance, because that should have been removed from the shop floor. I hope that makes sense. So that's one of the reasons, and a lot of the reason basically, why we don't want to go in and make this be known, because the more people that know about it, obviously maybe this will become not a thing anymore, because it might become a problem for the stores, might go more to a corporate level as far as the store just finding it to be too much of a hassle. So the kind of more low-key that we can get or be, and a lot of the communities will actually tell you and advise you, of these things, then obviously, if we're doing this low-key, we're not kind of causing any problems in the store, we're being clean, neat and tidy when we go in there, then, it's not bringing too much attention to being a problem for the Dollar General. So that's definitely one of the biggest things that you need to understand about penny shopping at the Dollar General. The reason why we can penny shop at the Dollar General and not be refused to have the item be sold to us is because it's actually in their employee handbook that penny sales is a thing. Obviously employees are aware that the products will be reduced to 1 penny after a particular time. And so these products need to be removed from the shelves, and they make it clear in the employee handbook that if these items are not removed and they are still on the sales floor, so we are able to find them quite easily on the sales floor. Obviously if it's in the back that's a different matter, but we shouldn't be in the back anyway, do you see what I mean? So if we find that on the sales floor, then it should be sold to us, and that the employees shouldn't argue or deny a sale to a customer, because that would be, in their eyes morally wrong, because it's their job that they haven't done, and if we find a product on the shelf we should have the right to buy that product. So the reason why we kind of have the upper hand in this is because these penny items are supposed to be sold to us if we find them on the shop floor, which is obviously where we find all of these items, right? However, one of the things that you will find is that a lot of employees take a different stand on when you actually purchase one of these items. So it may be that the employee will be a little bit unaware of penny sales. They might not be expecting the items to ring up as a penny, so some of the employees might be confused as to why, wait, hang on, I've just scanned these and it's 3 cents. There's 3 things, 3 cents. And so I had one guy who just kept pressing total. He was actually on his personal cell phone actually while he was trying to sell these to us, so I think he was probably distracted as well, which is a little bit of unprofessional. But as a result, he was probably confused maybe that he'd done something incorrectly. He called a manager. The manager said, yes, well, we have to sell them because we should have removed those, and they were sold to us. You will get some employees that don't seem to care about it. They'll just sell you the penny items and you're good to go. And we've also had the other end of the spectrum where we've been refused sales, which, you know, people can kind of take two stands. Do you call corporate? Do you ask for the manager, etc.? Because they are supposed to actually be selling us these items. So it is kind of wrong. They are going against their own employee policies if they do actually refuse the sale. And so you can do what you want with that. You know, some people or some of the communities advise you call corporate, you know, they're not supposed to deny the sale, etc. Or you could just, you know, we've done it a few times, kind of give up. Well, that's okay. You know, you win some, you lose some. So just to let you know in advance, there are certain people or employees that won't care, and then obviously you'll get the other end of the spectrum, which can be quite unprofessional, where they'll refuse the sale and they'll argue completely against the policy. So, you know, just be aware when you go in there. It's very much like couponing, to the kind of point that with couponers, there's a lot of employees that understand exactly what's written on the coupon, they understand exactly that it should be used on this product, and they will go ahead and accept it, no questions asked, they're totally fine. You've got some employees that can be very confused, they won't read the coupon correctly, or they'll think just straight away, no, this shouldn't be, you know, this shouldn't be used, even though it's completely valid. And then you'll get other employees that they don't want to kind of risk themselves using this, and therefore they'll just deny the use of the coupon for whatever explanation that they want to give. So it's a bit like anything when we're trying to save money in stores. It's, you know, the ability for us to do so is there, but you might hit kind of a roadblock in trying to do so. But what we are doing here is completely within the scope of what Dollar General actually allows us to do as a customer, and so you shouldn't be worried. Obviously, when you're first starting out and you may be confused as to which items are pennies and which items are not pennies, it can obviously be difficult where, oh, do I go, if I can't ask, like I just explained, I'm not supposed to ask for a price check, because that's, if it is a penny, I'm not going to be able to buy it, and if it's not a penny, then, you know, it's not a penny, it's whatever price, then obviously, you know, it's not a penny, right? But if it is a penny, it's going to be taken away from you. So you kind of have to trust your gut instinct, really. You've got to kind of trust yourself that whatever you're picking up is actually a penny. And obviously that takes research, it takes a lot of kind of checking the penny communities, a lot of making sure that the penny list is correct, and also making sure that you are personally up to date and knowledgeable on price tags and reference codes and that sort of thing. So that's kind of in your corner as well. Sometimes you might find, and it has happened to me because I wanted to take a chance sometimes, is that I'll know that there's a lot of things that are definitely a penny, and there might be a few things that I'm a little bit unsure of, but I've seen other people maybe getting them at different stores, and therefore I'll want to try that as well. And you can't ask for a price check like I just said before, because if you ask for a price check, you're not going to be able to actually get the item, right? If it's a penny, it's going to be taken away from you, not going to have it sold to you. But if they ring it up at the register and it comes up as a penny, they have to, supposedly according to the employee policy, they have to sell it to you. So if you are getting a number of items and they're penny and another penny and another penny, and then they scan something that you think is a penny but you're not sure, or for some whatever reason it isn't a penny, and it doesn't happen a lot, but if you are unsure about something, it's probably going to happen more often, and they scan it and it's, say, $13, it's the price that it was supposed to be. What can you do in that situation? I only wanted to spend a penny on it, and now I've got $13 added to my bill. So there's a few things that you can do. You can either just say, oh, I'm really sorry, I thought that was on sale. Don't say, oh, that was supposed to be a penny, because obviously that's making it aware to the employee that you are perfectly, well, not perfectly, you're obviously perfectly aware of penny shopping, but you are almost trying to penny shop, right? So it's that secret thing that we have to kind of go below the radar. So if that does happen, you can say, oh, I'm really sorry, you know, I thought that was on sale, because the Dollar General does do some sales as well, and they advertise sales. So, you know, it could have just been that you kind of mistook it for a sale. So you can say that, or if you wanted to go ahead and buy it, you can always return it to a different location or at a later date. If you're feeling a bit unsure or a bit nervous about that, you could I guess in some instances you could say, oh, I'm really sorry, I forgot my card, or something like that. So there are ways to get around it, but what you want to do is avoid that really at all costs, because you don't want to be stuck in that situation. And if you are stuck in that situation, you want to be sure about what you're going to do and how you're going to kind of improve. Okay guys, so I'm going to move on now to how you actually can work out what is a penny item and what is not a penny item. And the basics that you need to be made aware of are what I'm going to cover now. And like I said before, this is going to be a generalization of what you need to look out for. So I'm going to show you with examples, because I obviously have a lot behind me. And even to this day now, I have done a lot of research over the past couple of days, but I don't know extensively obviously the ins and outs of everything, so I'm going to be learning as I go as well, and I can bring those things to you as we go. But I do want to use the examples of things I've got now and kind of basically generalize the things that I kind of want to bring to you that you need to be made aware of. So what I would recommend for everybody really that's starting this is see if you can join a penny finding community on social media. So whether that be Instagram, and you can just do hashtag DG penny finds or penny finder or anything like that, you can actually search for in Instagram. You can also go onto the App Store on your iPhone or Android and search Penny Finder, and that's going to be able to bring up an app that you can use at the Dollar General to actually scan the items. And that particular app is actually, I believe it's $2.99, and it's well worth the money for it. It's basically a community of people that actually talk to each other on Facebook, and those people actually update the app basically continuously, really. That app runs on a community finding and updating the penny list, and therefore you can then, you know, because there's so many people that are part of this community, they'll be scanning items, they'll be working out, oh well, this is a penny, and then they can confirm that in the app, and then you can actually use the in-app scanner, like you might use the Walmart scanner and things like that, to actually scan the products in store that you think might be a penny, and it will confirm whether that particular barcode or whether that particular product is actually a penny. So that is a great thing to use, and I only came across that recently, that there's actually an app that you can actually use for this. But do bear that in mind, there's a lot of different sources of information that you can use to build your knowledge up about this. So definitely find yourself some sort of community on Facebook, on Instagram. See if you can download the Penny Finder app as well. That's going to help you a lot. And yeah, that's basically the thing that I would recommend that's going to help you the most. Based on that, you can use that to your advantage basically in whatever way you will. The communities themselves will update the penny lists quite regularly as well. Those groups you generally have to ask to join on social media, because it is more of a kind of a secret community, even though there's a lot of people that are aware of it. So do bear that in mind as well. I'm going to kind of go to the things that have recently been kind of a penny at the Dollar General. And a few of these things that I also have as well were pennies a while ago, and they're still actually a penny. So there's a few things that are going to be really easy for you to spot. Anybody's going to be able to do it, and then there's going to be things that are a little bit more difficult. So very recently there has been a penny list released, and it was all Blue Star toys and purple dot home. Now that's going to make a lot of sense to those people that shop at the Dollar General already, but in general, most of the products, not all of the products at the Dollar General, actually have a symbol on them, and it's a particular symbol. So it might be a star, it might be a diamond, it might be a square, an oval, a circle, probably already said a circle, I'm not quite sure, and it's going to be coloured as well. So a lot of the products, and like I said, not all, which is the important thing, have a particular symbol on them. So for example, what I'm going to show you now is this particular product. So this was a Star Wars product, and as you can see here, it's got a blue star under the price. Alright, and like I said before, this also happened to purple dot home items as well. So this particular symbol, the blue star specifically, is going to kind of identify toys specifically that were introduced into the store on the sales floor at a particular point in time. So in particular, for the items that were on the penny list a few weeks ago, the Blue Star toys had to have a particular reference number on the back as well. So as you can see here, this says F15, and F15 actually is decoded as fall 2015. So you may also see products, for example, let's say S17 on them, and that would stand for spring 2017. Do you see what I mean? So you've got to use the symbol alongside a reference, if it's there, to be able to decipher which products are going to be a penny. So in this particular case, when I went penny shopping, it was the Blue Star toys. So the toys that I found with the Blue Star, which is obviously for beginners, is really easy to find. Okay, I'm looking for Blue Star toys. And the Blue Star toys, I think the majority of them, definitely all the ones I found, were all from fall 15. I think it included fall 16 as well, but the majority of them, especially the ones I picked up, were all from fall 15. So that means that these were products that were introduced to the store in fall of 2015, so about 3 years ago now. And the same thing for this particular one. So first of all, you would identify it in the store as a Blue Star, and then you might think, okay, so just to double check, is it fall 15? And as you can see on there, you see the reference code says F15. So you can basically ascertain just in that, okay, I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a penny item. Now we have the Penny Finder app, so we can actually scan this barcode in the Penny Finder app, and for the majority of things, because there's so many people are updating that community, it's going to say to you in black and white basically, yes, this is a penny item. There's a few things based on that are not going to have any symbol on them at all, and that's where it gets a little bit more difficult. And at this point in time, I can't fully explain that. It definitely goes towards the barcode, the UPC code, and what you find on that, but for the majority of products that are actually branded, so that might be Disney products, a lot of the Hot Wheels products that I found that I knew were penny just from following the communities, they weren't necessarily, they didn't necessarily have a symbol, they didn't necessarily have a code that I could specifically decipher, but I knew they were because a lot of people were finding them in the community. So obviously you might be like, Steph, why on earth have you bought so much random stuff? And you do have a good point, but they were a penny. So like I said in the beginning, even if you bought like 200 items or 300 items, they're only going to cost you $2, $3 for everything, which is absolutely amazing and ridiculous at the same time. So if this is what I have just got, and like I said, you probably got a better pan of everything that I got because this isn't that great earlier on in the video, then imagine what you can get if you keep being persistent with this over a number of weeks. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use this stuff. Maybe if you've got children and there's a lot of toys that I managed to pick up this week, obviously you can think about either giving them to them directly, or whether you want to keep them for birthdays, if you want to keep them for Christmas, if you want to keep them for other special occasions. I've made hampers in the past on my YouTube channel of things that I've stockpiled, and they make great gifts for everybody. There's a lot of things there's a lot of things in different departments that penny out every week. So you may think, well, I have absolutely no need for like 100 kids toys, but it may be that in a few weeks time, it may be some food items that might penny out, it may be some more beauty related items that penny out. I got a bunch of as you can see behind me, I got a bunch of the synthetic silk flowers, probably not silk, but you can use those for floral projects, you can use those for crafting projects. And so the products that you actually can pick up penny shopping vary from week to week, and what I'm basically trying to say there in a nutshell is that something one week may not suit you, but the next week you might think, oh my gosh, I need all of that. You might find that you go a couple of weeks and you find something that doesn't really interest you, but then you might find that there's a couple of weeks of things that are really something that you're interested in. So it's definitely hit or miss. If you're somebody like me that can, I don't have any kids at the moment, so there's absolutely no reason for me to have all of these toys, but donating toys to people is definitely something that you could do. Selling the toys as well, if you wanted to have a flea market or a garage sale just to raise a little bit of extra income, that's definitely something that you can do. And like I mentioned, saving them or stockpiling for specific times of the year when gift giving is numerous, that's obviously definitely something that's beneficial, because it means then you don't have to buy like 10 full price toys when you've already got a really good toy for somebody for a cent, and essentially it's exactly the same thing. The quality of the product is nothing less. The packaging of the product isn't destroyed or anything. It's completely brand new merchandise. It just has been sat on the shelf for a longer time than others. So there's all sorts of things that you can do with these products. I hope this video has been helpful to you. There's a lot more information to cover. I just wanted to cover the basics in this video, quite honestly, and that's what penny shopping is, what to do and what not to do in the store when you're going to look for these products, which is keeping it as much of a secret as possible and kind of giving it a go slowly but surely and working up the knowledge to be able to carry this out more frequently. Also, making sure that you don't get disheartened straight away. It may take you a little bit longer to find penny items depending on where you're located than others, and just bear in mind that it should be a fun activity. Basically, you should be seeing it more as like a treasure hunt to see if you can or can't find things, and then when you do, you'll be so excited and happy with yourself because you're just going to be like, oh my god, look at all the stuff that I brought home. And the fact that it's a cent, you really cannot go wrong. So that's what I kind of want you to bear in mind. I want you to bear in mind the basics of the symbols that are on the particular items themselves, the reference codes that you need to look out for, and the big one is joining a community, downloading the app that's going to allow you to kind of flourish doing this. And that's just basically because as much as you can study penny lists and know which particular items are going to be pennying out, if they don't have a symbol on them and they don't have a specific reference code, it can get very complex in determining which products are actually pennies and which ones aren't. And so if you are part of a community that you regularly go to and you can see specifically the look of the product, the shape of the product, what you need to see on it, what size the product is, it's going to be so much easier for you to distinguish between the products that are a penny and they're not a penny, and that you're going to be basically 100% more successful. So those are the takeaway things that I want you to take from this video. I'm going to probably do more, just kind of being more in depth and looking at some of the more products that I got and how I knew that they were a penny, because I think this is a lot of information that I'm throwing at you in one go, and so it's probably difficult to kind of break this down. So if you would like more videos, smaller videos that are actually focusing on very specific points in penny shopping, I would be completely happy to do that. Just comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, and you can email me as well, that's totally fine. And if you wanted to join me back very soon, I'm going to have my next video up very shortly, and I know that a lot of you have been waiting for the second installment of the massive Michael's grab bag haul, and that is on its way to you, so don't worry, that'll be with you very, very soon. But I thought I would give you this video in the meantime to kind of get involved in the Dollar General penny shopping, and then I will come at you with a bunch more videos as well that I have planned. So have a wonderful day. Take from this what you will, and I'd say go out and research as much as possible. You can look down in my description to find any other links that I have included which are going to help you with this, and obviously a short description which might give you a broader overview of what this video is going to include before you watch it. So have a great evening everybody, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!